Welcome to the 1090 podcast. I'm here with Brie, Osha, and Kamisha Allen. Brie, Osha, that sounds like a fragrance almost.
I think we talked about my name last time you interviewed
Yeah.
me. You might have said the exact same
Did
thing,
I?
actually. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Brioche. It sounds French. It's like brioche bread.
There you go.
It's named after the ocean.
I am honored to have both you here. So thanks for showing up. I know it's scary to talk about this stuff, especially with complete strangers that you've never met. But the interesting thing with the grief group is like you just have this bond that you automatically, like there's this special connection that kind of
Yes,
just,
absolutely.
you know, that you both just resonate with. Anyway, I just thought we'd have you both quickly give us kind of why you're here, what brought you to the 1090 podcast, who you lost, and then we'll go from there, wherever the conversation takes us. Anyone eager to start off?
Oh, well, I can. Since
Do you want to
I'm
go first?
The newbie, since I came in. It's first of all, I would like to say it's my pleasure to meet you. And he's absolutely right. It's easy to share with other people who you know have gone through what you've gone through. My son, Jawan, was 21 years old when he passed away. He was out on what we call Salt River. If there's a river, everyone goes tubing in the summertime. They went every summer almost, and that one summer he just did not make it home. So, and my life was forever changed.
And was this in Phoenix where you live?
Yes, it is. Yep. And so I'm just here to share that story and my grief journey that I've taken. That was back in 2014.
Okay.
So I'm 12 years in now. It was very hard to, of course, to begin, but it's gotten a whole lot easier to carry with me. But I definitely have moments of grief that hit real hard, or it might hit light. It just depends. Sometimes I have to get up and remove myself from certain situations, depending on how hard it hit or not. But I definitely still have my moments.
Yes, absolutely. And then I feel like grief too, like when it's unexpected grief like that, where it just happens out of nowhere, like tragedy, accident, that's something that's completely different as well, and something that we can both relate on to. I want to say, Mason, thank you for having me as well. This is a really unique podcast setting with the three of us like this, so it's exciting. I was interviewed by Mason a few years ago, and you just barely had yours today, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. So I relate to you, like I said, in unexpected and sudden tragedy. My son, he was 2 years old. His name is Romeo. And like I said, I've already given the specifics of everything that happened in a recent interview with you. But he passed in a drowning accident at our apartment complex in Tracy, California. And it was on my watch.
There's so many different layers to that, what you just said, and how grief impacts people differently depending on the surrounding situations.
Right.
So my heart goes out to you.
My heart goes out to you too. I think for me, like I'm dealing with a lot of obviously guilt. Like when I say it was on my watch, I mean, my back was turned for 2 minutes and I was talking to another mother, and he went into the hot tub that we always went in together. But this time he went in by himself. And the difference too with this that I try to talk about a lot and raise awareness on drowning is the number one cause of death for children under 3. That's accidental. It's fast, it's silent, and it takes under 30 seconds. And it's also like I said, completely silent. Like a lot of people, they feel like they would be able to witness a drowning, hear a drowning, and it's actually very, very, very undetectable. And so, yeah, like I said, my back was turned for just a few minutes.
Wow. Yeah. My goodness. Excuse me. It's crazy because I talked to my parents, like how you said on your watch, and when I mentioned the different layers of grief, I have parents that I deal with through the foundation that their kids were taken by the hands of another person. One of my parents, actually, the father and the stepmother, had something to do with the child passing away. And just there's so many different yes. And so my heart is, I can't even tell you how bad my heart is like tearing apart right now, because I understand those different layers and the impact of the first of all, you lost a child, and then to feel that other pain of either you feeling the guilt or a parent feeling that someone took their child's life. There's so many more, like, it's so intricate, the different levels of grief that you can have after losing a child. I can't even talk right now. That's how much it's like affecting me. I can't even, I'm not even making this up. I'm trying to hold it back because I just feel so overwhelmed with that story you just told me. I'm sorry.
And I've thought about exactly what you just said with the amount of guilt I feel because it happened on my watch. Well, what if it was somebody else? Like, what if it was with a grandparent or whatever else? And I'm honestly I'm very much at peace with the fact that it was with me, because I was there for his last day. I was there for his last moments. And I can imagine him feeling scared, but he knows that I was the one that was there. And so for that, I'm grateful. I feel like if he were to choose who he would be with, he would have chosen me. So, like you said, so complex and so many different layers, and everybody has their grief story. And I mean, your grief story and you not being in the car with your family is something entirely on its own.
And I told him my grief, my guilt came from my son moving out just before he turned 18, and he went to live with his father. And he passed away at 21.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
My son moved out at 17. He went to live with his father. We weren't together.
Okay.
And he went to live with his dad at 17, and he passed away at 21. And so much happened in between 17 and 21 with him and his father. And that's a whole nother, we talked about that on my one. But him not being there in my house for those last few years and then being out there on his own, I felt guilty for that. Like, gosh, what if he would have still lived with me from 17 to 18? Maybe he still would have been living with me at 21. I don't know. He had just moved out with his friend, and they just became roommates, and they were going to go to college and all that good stuff. But that guilt came from me allowing him to go and stay with his father and not keeping him for those last few years of his life. So that sort of kind of ate me up.
You go through all of the what ifs.
Yep,
How could I have done differently?
Absolutely.
Where are you today in your journey of feeling like, because something you hear a lot is, oh, it was meant to be. How do you feel about that phrase in general?
When I haven't ever thought about how I felt about it, number one, but just thinking about that, I feel like maybe when people say that, since I'm faith, I'm very strong in my faith, I feel like since my belief is God knows things that are going to happen from the beginning, before we're even born, like our little path where we're going to end up, our time, our line. So when they say that, I feel like maybe that's what they mean. People don't say that to me. I've never had anyone say that to me. People used to tell me I'm sorry a lot, and I didn't get that. But that one I sort of kind of get just because of how faithful I am. So I make sense of it maybe in my head if someone were to say that to me. But yeah, I've never really had too many people say that to me.
How do you feel about that phrase in like your own then? Like, do you believe it was meant to be? And why I'm even asking is because I struggle with that phrase myself.
Nope,
that phrase.
I had a feeling that it was coming from that.
Curious how you feel about it as I'm processing that myself.
I believe everything is, I won't say how can I say?
Predetermined.
Yes. I believe we can take different routes, but.
Right. But there's like more of a plan than just like, okay, go and figure it all out, right?
Yeah. If someone were to tell me that, I would probably be like, how do you know? Only God can know this.
Right. I think too, a lot of people use that phrase because it makes them feel better about it happening.
Yes.
Like it gives it an excuse almost, and it kind of undermines what happened just a little bit. For me, I have a hard time saying his accident was meant to be. Like, oh, it's meant to be that my little 2-year-old isn't here with me today. But at the same time, I do believe that he was only meant to be here for a few short years. The second I was pregnant with him, I had a feeling I was going to lose him intuitively. I was researching miscarriages. Like I was like so scared of losing him, and I thought that was normal, like paranoia. I don't have that with my daughter. It wasn't normal paranoia, it's intuition. When he was a year old, when he was just a baby, I was on my knees praying to God saying, do not take my baby. Wow. Isn't that wild? And the day of his accident, looking back, I'm like seeing all of these little hints and things. The day of his accident, one of my last memories with him, we're cuddling in bed. This is one of my last clear memories with him. We're cuddling in bed. He has this teeny little hand on my face. He's got these big brown eyes. He's looking up at me and he goes, for the first time do I ever hear him say this, he goes, Mama, am I your angel? And looking back at that, I have so much peace inside because he is my angel. Like literally today, he's my angel. And I feel like he always knew that. And a part of me always freaking knew that.
So now then I would ask you then, does everything happen?
Now it's turned back on me.
No, because think about what you just said.
Right.
So if he already knew, then are things already predestined, or do we already know? I mean,
yeah, and I don't know.
for a reason.
That's why I struggle with that phrase. Like, was it meant to be? I don't know, but I do feel like there's so much more going behind the scenes than we can ever comprehend or realize. Yes. There's more of a plan. There's more things going on.
Yes, I shared with Mason earlier that right after my son passed away, I was not doing well with it at all, as any parent would not have been. And I dropped my daughters off somewhere because they were just over me crying, and it was making them, sad. And so I was like, you guys can go spend some time with your grandma. She's doing better than me, but she's still sad too.
And how many daughters do you have?
I have 2.
Okay. Are they younger than him or older?
They were younger. He was my oldest.
Okay.
My first. And anyways, I went into a store and I was studying in an owl. And anyways, I was looking at some books. I was going to start journaling again. And I was going to journal about my son. And a little girl walks up to me, says these few little words, and she disappears in the store. She told me everything was going to be okay. I went to look for her, and she was not in the store. I asked the cashier, where'd the little girl go? He asked me, what little girl?
What? Oh,
so yes,
what words did she tell you?
She told me everything was going to be okay. First, she walked up to me and asked me, did I have kids? And I said, yes. And then she got very specific and said, do you have a son? And I
have like chills all down my legs.
And this
I love this stuff, by the way.
This is why I cannot be moved off of my faith.
You're like, I have too much evidence at this point.
Absolutely. And so with that, I believe there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we just can't see.
Right. Yeah.
There's a bigger author.
1000%. And I feel like our loved ones on the other side, I feel like they do try to send us signs. They do want to still have a relationship. And that's something that's entirely possible. And it's something that a lot of people aren't aware of. And it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I think they don't like speaking of those kind of things. Not only that, they don't even like speaking of grief. Like we have to normalize speaking like this about things that we go through, the trials and tribulations of losing someone, what comes, the dark places that we go into.
Yes.
So absolutely. I don't know why people don't want to talk about these kind of things, but they definitely shy away from faith or anything spiritual or believing in anything bigger. But it's definitely something out there. I mean, I know what I believe in, and I take away away from no one else's belief. But just like I said, it's been too much evidence, like that he's shown up for me way too many times, not just my son, showing me things like coming home one day and there's feathers just sitting outside my front door, feathers. And so, of course, I get interested and I'm like, why are these two feathers just sitting here? And I'm curious. So I Google, what's the significance of feathers? And it had something, I can't remember what it was. I would have to Google it again, but it had something about someone trying to say hello to you or something like that. And I'm like, what?
Like a little hello.
Yes. So, and I think, and even if I was wrong in that moment, isn't it comforting to know that we can take those things and have those moments for ourselves, that it comforts us, it brings some kind of peace in that moment, only in that moment though.
Totally. Well, I think too that it's kind of like a muscle that you practice that you can get better at. It's kind of like a new language between you, the universe, God, and this person that you are learning how to communicate. And it gets really fun. It gets really creative. My son, he communicates with me in all these different kind of ways now. And something that I'm realizing with him in our relationship is he is still evolving and growing. And like, duh, like obviously he is. Near the end of his life, his whole life, actually, he loved cars. He was really into Lightning McQueen, cars, that kind of thing. And near the end, like literally the last month, he got really into dragons. And to this day, I get signs all the time of dinosaurs. And that's totally a new thing. Like I will be in the park thinking about him randomly and I'll step on a little dinosaur toy. Like he's sending me little treasures. He communicates with me a lot through butterflies. That's my main thing. Balloons. Something that's unique is I could be talking to somebody in a public setting and somebody near me, I'll overhear their conversation and it will answer something to me that I'll have a question for in my head, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So overheard conversations is another thing.
Wow. I love that for you. I absolutely do, because that's amazing to be able to still have that connection.
Yes.
And it does bring comfort. I mean, I know you still miss him immensely, but it brings that comfort to know that he's still around.
Yes, totally. And it's like,
and that's how I feel for Jawan.
Yes.
Like I know my daughter will call me and she'll say, "Mom, so something just happened," and I'm like, "What?" And she'll tell me, and I'm all like, "That's your brother." And she's like, "That's why I called to tell you, because I knew you'd say that." And I drove up here. I got it's not the wrong address, but when I was coming here, it took me somewhere else. And as I drove in to where I thought we were,
I got lost.
We were parked where they were at. It was 11:17, and that just happens to be my son's birthday. And I looked down and I'm on the phone with my sister, and I go, "It's 11:17," and she goes, "Ooh, he's there with you. He's there with you."
Oh, that's so
and
cute.
She's like, he's showing up, like, and he does that, like, and I didn't know I was driving up at 11:17, and I just looked down, and it happened to be that time. And so little moments like that, just like I said, even if I make them up in my head, it makes me feel better to think that he's around and that he's still showing up.
And you're not making them up.
I know. I do that for the people who don't believe.
Other people can think that.
But I know better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Romeo, he has shown up for me in my most important times of my life. Like I fully believe that he helped bring me my husband who I have today. We call him my little wingman. And I was literally just barely wedding dress shopping a few weeks ago. And we were trying on dresses, and I tried on this dress that I just like absolutely loved. And the song comes on by Taylor Swift, and it's called Love Story. And it goes, "Romeo, save me, I've been feeling so alone." And it's literally a love song about saying yes. And the lyrics go pick out a white dress. And it just like the whole store had this moment. My mom was there, my grandma was there. Everybody was hugging and crying. And it was this like unified moment of like, he is literally right here. It's so easy to just say, "Oh, he's here." But like, it was just like this. Everybody knew he was there.
I love that.
And I'm like, of course he's here. Of course he's helping me pick out my wedding dress. He helped me pick out my man. Of course he's going to pick out my dress for me. Like, he's not going to miss this.
Not for a moment. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't have any wonderful moments like that. That is amazing. Though. I'm trying to think of something, but I'm such at a loss because that is amazing. Oh, I wish I could have been there, a little fly on the wall.
Oh,
One of those little bees outside.
yeah, it's super special.
You guys or girls, well, I was part of a grief group this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, it's been a long day for me. I've been crying all day over here. And we were in the group, we were just talking about this mask that you put on to look happy for people, but really you're sad, which I'm sure you guys can relate to maybe early on in your grief or maybe now. But what I'm trying to get to is I think you two are just genuinely happy. Smile, like you guys are just smiling all the time, happy. Just help it make sense to me, like how, with the amount of pain that you guys have talked about and are dealing with, because it's genuine. You can tell it's genuine. It's not a pretend face, and if it is, like, congrats, it's really good, and you're fooling me. But the question is, just like how are you guys like that? Explain it.
So I want to like say something really quick to that. I feel like, and I put a lot of thought towards this because I feel like in my lifetime, universe, God has really like taught me and is teaching me the absolute duality of grief, like ultimate heartbreak, loss, grief, losing your baby, like one of the worst things you can go through. And then equal amount of love, like equal amount of love and of connection and of like my dreams coming true within family and home and all of that. And Romeo is a part of that too. So it's like really crazy for me to be able to experience just so much depth, I think, in my life, which I am ultimately very grateful for. Experienced on both ends, and both are genuine. I'm curious what you feel about that.
Repeat the question.
I forgot what I asked.
And that's why I'm like, repeat the question.
You just did such a good job.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, what did I?
Well, I put a lot of thought towards that.
Like the balancing act of the misery and the joy. And you did a good job explaining it. Like, I think the depth of the pain has increased our level to maybe experience love and joy, maybe.
Well, no, that's so true, because a lot of people like look at me and they see like I am happy, like I am a smiley person, and they're confused as to like, well, shouldn't you be grieving in this sort of way? And it's like, actually, no, I'm grieving in the way I am. And just because I'm happy and I'm smiling, that doesn't mean that I don't feel the loss of my child. And that's actually something I've been dealing with a lot. So I'm glad you asked that.
I think it's similar to the depression thing. Like when people are dealing with depression and suicide ideation, and you look at them and they're happy.
Yeah,
they are happy. They are, but they're also not doing good.
Yes.
And I think it's the same.
Like both things are true at the same time.
Right.
Complexities. My question for you is, I've like been like we're talking about right now, it's been something for me to navigate in my own journey of navigating how I experience my pain, how I experience my numbness towards the situation. I realized right after the loss, I didn't experience grief like how it looks like in the movies. Mine was very like detached at the beginning, very numb. It was hard for me to have access to all of those feelings. Well, I did feel it. It was hard for me to feel it in the way that you would think you would feel it, if that makes sense. So I'm curious how that was for you. Like, did you feel detached at the beginning? Was it more of like this just utter despair? Like, what was it like for you, and how has that changed moving forward?
I was very attached. I'm an emotional person to begin with, so I felt it very quickly. But I sort of kind of went in go mode to bury my son, to get his services all taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think I grieved really like, that ball out
yeah.
ugly face until after I was finished planning. Like I cried. I did. I cried up until that point. But I think I was in such go mode that I really got the job done, and I buried him within like a week. I was so concerned about what he was, where is he? Who has him? He's over here on this slab. Like it was just all these little things.
Oh, that's
going through
totally
my
a
mind.
thing. Yes.
And it made me move faster to get his services taken care of. But I was very emotional. So I cried and, why, all of those things. But I have a sister who lost a child 2 years before I lost mine. And she was like you. She was detached. She didn't really tap into it. She didn't want to talk about it even after I lost my son and started the foundation. She was all like, don't invite me. I don't want to talk. Don't bring me up there. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm like, but sis, we both experienced this. And she just wouldn't. And just recently I was sharing with them, just recently last year, she sat on the panel for the foundation, and she actually spoke about it. But that was 13 years at that point, because she's 14 years this year. So
it took her 13 was more detached.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more avoidant.
But there's different levels. I tell you, people deal with the grief so differently.
Absolutely.
I see so many different parents. I had one parent who actually, she goes to I don't know if she does it anymore. She even disconnected from the group, which we look for her, but she doesn't return. And you got to give them the space. But she would literally sit out at the gravesite every day, all day long. Her husband said, this is not healthy for you. And she said she's not leaving her daughter. She's not doing it.
Wow.
Every single day.
Wow.
Until the sun went down, till they shut the doors on the cemetery.
Wow.
Yep. The gates, shall I say, not the doors, but.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, with your sister and how she detached, I would say, like, my detachment felt, and the way I talk about it is it kind of felt like I logically understood what happened. I could talk about it as freely as I'm talking to you right now. But like emotionally, psychologically, my body could not comprehend what happened. And it was almost like my body was going through a state of, what's it called when you go to the doctor and they like numb you? What is that called? They like put you under anesthesia. Yes, it's like your body goes under a state of anesthesia and you're numbed. And it was almost like I was outside of my body where I was experiencing things, but not to the totality. And now that it's been 4 years, my anesthesia has been wearing off slowly. And like sometimes it hits, just like you said earlier, like where it just like hits you and it's like this wave of grief. And then other times it's like really light.
Yeah, it's interesting how you spoke about the anesthesia. I felt like that right after he passed away. Like it was this fog over me. Like I just felt like I was in this whole different universe.
A fog. Yes,
yeah, it was a whole new universe. And believe it or not, I don't think I ever came out of that universe. I just learned to live in it better, if that makes sense, because my life was forever changed. I even remember at the service, I couldn't even tell you what actually happened at the service. I was so disconnected and so not there. I think I looked up at the ceiling the entire time. I did not want to go in and view, how they have viewings. And I couldn't. It was too much for me. Too much. But yeah, absolutely. The detachment it's real for some people. And then there are people who actually just let their emotions out and let go.
Yeah.
And I was one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
One of my things, and I think I mentioned this earlier, for whatever reason, I did not like for people to tell me, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, after it happened. Was there ever a phrase that someone said to you that sort of kind of just rubbed you the wrong way?
Yes, and I'm really glad you asked this, actually. And this is a phrase that I used to say to other people when things like this would happen. And so that's why I do feel it's important to talk about. But the phrase, I couldn't imagine. When you tell somebody, and like I said, I used to say this all the time, but when you tell somebody, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't imagine, you are separating yourself from that person's reality. Like, oh, my reality is so painful that you can't even connect to or imagine going through what is my reality, and it's separation. So something you can say instead of I couldn't imagine is I can only imagine. And do you feel the difference in that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting that you said it like that. I never thought of it like that.
Somebody else told me that, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes,
I never understood why I didn't like that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I still don't know why I did not like for people to tell me I'm sorry. I was like, what are you sorry for? Why are you telling me this? And now I hear myself saying it to people. So it's weird. But yeah, I get it. And I think I understand a little bit why they say they're sorry. Maybe they're sorry that it happened to you or happened to me or happened to someone, but it just didn't make any logical sense. And it absolutely drove me crazy.
Interesting. Maybe like you don't want them feeling like bad for you, or what do you think it is?
I still don't have a clue. I think grief does things to people that we just never can figure out. Maybe. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah.
Grief is because it hits people differently.
Totally. And it's very complex.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing I talk about all the time in grief is it is so complex. Like a lot of people look at it and they think it's black and white. They think they know how you should be grieving and they have an expectation on how that should be, but it's
and these layers that they say that, you know, when you read the books and they're like, you're at this layer, you're here, you're there. Like, no, does this really exist? Not at all.
And you really don't know until you go through it. Exactly. And how many of us have gone through extreme grief like this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you too. So you said you had 2 daughters and they were younger, right? How old are they?
Now they are 26 and 31.
How old were they
Brie,
when?
Kamisha is a grandma.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I'm going away again.
No, that's awesome. Congratulations.
When my son passed away, my youngest was 14.
Okay.
And then that would have made, so Joanne was 21, 19. 19 was the oldest daughter. So 19 and 14.
Okay. And then how did that change your relationship, do you think, with them after he passed?
I don't think it changed, but it definitely made us closer. We sort of kind of cherished each other a little differently.
Yeah.
Because of it was just a very fragile moment for everybody, and we just had to come together. So it didn't change us because we were always a close-knit family. We used to get together a lot with a lot of our outside family. I can say it made our circle a lot smaller, tighter.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do a lot of going out. We sort of kind of stayed home a lot with each other. Like, I don't know if we were afraid to go out and maybe not come back. I don't know what it was. You know how you go through these things, especially parents after you lose a child. You sort of kind of become protective of the other children.
The paranoia is real.
It is so real. My kids told me, "Mom, you're extreme at this point." But in the beginning, they were okay with it, and that was when we were all just staying at home. But it didn't affect our relationship in a bad way at all. It sort of kind of made us closer.
Just closer, yeah. With what you're saying, paranoia, like I said earlier, I always had a feeling that I would lose Romeo, and I thought it was just normal paranoia. I don't have that with my daughter. Her name is Amara. But I can relate on what you just said of feeling like I'm a lot more careful with her. I'm a lot more worried. I'm a lot more just making sure everything is okay all the time with her.
Oh, yeah. When my kids don't pick up, and still to this day I do it, I tell them, you guys know you have to call me back, right? Like, I still have that little paranoia, like, call me back. Don't go too long without calling me. And my youngest, she's so bad for this. She'll go days, though. She's like, Mom, you know I'm okay. I'm like, no, not until you call me. She's married, by the way. So she's like, I have a whole house.
She's like, he can check on me.
No, seriously. I'm like, but sometimes I just want to hear your voice, though. So that's what I chuck it up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my situation is actually kind of unique with my daughter. But I lost Romeo and I was pregnant with my daughter 1 month later. 1 month. Did you know this, Mason? I don't know if we must have talked about it.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't remember what we talked about.
Apparently not.
But so both of my kids were with the same father. We were together for 6 years. We were never married. And I just, in that state of like fog and grief and numbness, we wanted to have another baby. And really, like, I wanted to have another baby. I wanted her. And I also knew that she would heal me. And I knew too that she would like help open this kind of connection with him. And also like going from being a mother and then just having that ripped out of your arms, like I couldn't imagine that phrase that I hate. Yeah. And so we got pregnant in that kind of state. And honestly, I'm so grateful for that. She has been this beautiful, healing, magnetic, gorgeous baby. And I wouldn't suggest that to everyone, like, oh, just go have another baby. But like, don't take this.
I think you're crazy.
Don't take this as advice. But she also, like, she's his little twin. Like, if I were to show you photos, I mean, oh my gosh, she's his little twin. She has this same magnetism to her. And also, like, I feel so connected to him through her. Like I said, sometimes I'll be holding her and giving her hugs, and she'll look up at me, and she just tells me, I love you, Mama. And I'm like, I feel like it's her and him telling me that. Aww. Like sometimes I'm holding her and I'm holding pieces of him, and I know I am. I don't know how it works, but it's almost like his love, his energy flows through her because she's just an easy vessel for him to be able to do that. I don't know how it works, but like I said, she's just this beautiful, amazing little healing child of mine. So it's been an incredible journey. It's been, I mean, obviously very hard going from grief, literally life being lost, to birthing new life within the same year.
And mine, I did not have a baby, but I did have a grandson.
Oh.
And ironically, he came out looking like my son. So he looks like his uncle, someone he never met.
Oh my gosh.
And I want to say, was it about a year? It was a year and a half, I think. About a year and a half is when my daughter had him. And he was born, he has autism and cerebral palsy. And so he spent a lot of time with me at home because I was still grieving. And remember, I told you I went back to work and and so I took more bereavement time off of work. And I had the opportunity to stay at home with him while my daughter went out and she was working and, living her life, going to school, working a job.
And this was how long after your son's
About
accident?
a year and a half.
Okay.
And he was just something so special, like you said, just to be able to have that extra little layer of love. Not that it was a replacement, but that love, because what is grief? Grief is just love with nowhere to go, right? And so now we have this other little human being that's there, and we can love and have that. Remember, we said we can function with the grief and the loss and the love at the same time, and we have to carry the both of them.
Yes.
And I think that's where it helps us heal a little bit. When we have that extra little layer of love to help sort of kind of bookend the grief, so to say.
Totally. And also, like, children are just this beautiful example of pieces of heaven that you get. And yeah, definitely a beautiful connection piece to those that we have lost.
Absolutely.
How are you guys dealing with living in two worlds at once? Like the world, are just reality, them not being here, and then the world of they should be here. Let me give you an example. So I'm at the skate park with Blue, and he's going off these jumps on his bike, and then I see this other dad. He has this little 2-3-year-old daughter with him on this little baby bike with no pedals, and he's like, "Follow me," and he just starts going down these are like legit dirt jumps. Anyway, this little baby girl just follows her dad. So all of a sudden, like, I literally just go from Blue to like, oh, like, this is Frankie and me, maybe. And like this, oh, like, is this this could be me in a different world right now. As Blue's riding his bike, I'm with Frankie. And then what would Riggins be doing? What would Courtney be doing? And then all the emotions with all these thoughts are popping up. Like, and so now I'm just paralyzed with anxiety. Like, I don't even know what, like, should I get angry or I'm sad. Should I start crying or do I just shut down? But then, like, people are walking by and Blue comes up to me. He's like, Dad, did you see my jump? And I'm like, yeah. And so, like,
you're like, oh,
life is
back
just
to
happening.
reality.
And, like, all this is, it's insane. So, like, how are you guys doing with this? Like, and Kamisha, I know you're kind of 12, 13 years down the road and have a little bit more experience, but, like, it's just a bizarre, weird, just weird. I just want your thoughts on how you guys are with that.
For me, remember I told you I'm an emotional person, so I allow myself to have whatever emotion I'm having in that moment, no matter who's around. I had to stop caring because it got a little dark for me, remember? So therefore, in order for me to not allow myself to be sucked back into my darkness, excuse me, I had to allow myself to be free to do it wherever I was at. So if I was grieving in the middle of the grocery store, I'm going to boohoo right here. I don't care who's looking. I got, the red rings around my eyes and I'm crying because I seen his favorite cereal. And gosh, and back in the day, I would have picked up 2 boxes because he would have been like, Mom, you only got 1 box. I'm going to eat this in 2 days and, something like that. And you have to allow yourself to have the moment. That's what I do. And it gets hard. It gets hard to see other people living their life. Like I said earlier to you as well, I have friends who have kids. They're meeting these milestones and I'm looking and it's bittersweet. I'm glad they're graduating from college. I'm glad that they're, having these birthdays past 21. And I look and my son is forever 21. So it gets interesting. You're right. But I just allow myself to have the moment whenever I'm in it. And that's how I get through it. Sorry.
Oh.
So sorry. I'm done. I have nothing else.
I was going to say to that, did he have friends that you watch grow older?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm still in contact with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I shared this with Mason and them earlier, but when my son passed away, on the day he passed away, him and one of his friends, they went on the cliff together. They, dove into the water together, and he noticed my son didn't come up, so he actually tried to save my son. And like I told Mason, I told this young man, please don't allow this to burden you for the rest of your life. You did what you were supposed to do, and there's a time on everyone, and it was my son's time. So don't feel bad about not being able to save him. I'm just grateful that you were there with him and that he actually was enjoying himself, his last moment. So
Yeah. Yep. Romeo, he used to have a little friend named Fox. And Romeo and Fox were quite the pair running around the apartment complex. And both of them had man buns. It was very cute. Romeo's was this brown little man bun. Fox was this cute little blondie. And after Romeo passed, I was in the situation where I watched, and I still watch Fox grow. And it is difficult for me to see him grow and have new interests and just, the comparison. And then to also see people's lives just continue the same. But my whole life is ripped out from underneath me. So yeah, I would say that's very difficult. Back to your question. Just you're still paying bills. You're still worrying about your mortgage and all of this reality stuff. But at the same time, your whole world was ripped out. And so there are definitely moments, like you said, of being somewhere and having a flash and feeling just immense grief, and then having to the next second go and take your kid to whatever you're doing. It's crazy. It's a crazy parallel.
yes, it is.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from. Is there's just so many options to choose. I'm just living in two worlds, and it's like bouncing back and forth is just stressful and exhausting. Like grief is exhausting.
It is.
I'm getting to the point where like I feel bad, like I'm doing grief wrong because maybe it's just been a few years now and I'm still hurting so bad, or I don't know what it is, but like
that phrase, feeling like you're doing grief wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that how you
I feel like that all the time.
Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't be hurting this much, or maybe it's just all this judgment of I just feel like I'm not doing it right. And
interesting.
And I just feel judgment of I'm still so sad. So like 12 years later, like what's that like for you, Kamisha? Like, am I making sense at all?
Yeah, no, you are. But no, and everyone's going to grieve differently. So you're definitely not doing it wrong or incorrect. You're doing it just the way you are supposed to do it because you're you. You're unique. And just like I said in the beginning, it was heavy, heavy, heavy to carry. And every year, I would say past maybe the first 4 or 5 years, after the 5th year, maybe it got a little easier to carry. And that's when the foundation started as well, though. So I sort of kind of changed the heaviness and I kept myself busy. I know you saw the little clip I did on social media where I said, find out why, the HP Foundation, it was helping heal others, but it also was keeping me distracted from my own grief. So I kept myself sort of busy. I stayed busy about things so I wouldn't have to sort of fall into the deepness and the darkness again. So I kept my hands busy and I just stayed busy. I don't even know how else to say it, pretty much. Yes.
What about you, Brie?
What was the question?
Just like, I feel like I'm doing grief wrong and just judgment of maybe from other people or just another version of myself thinking I should be doing better, whatever better even is. I don't even know what that means really, but just this constant nagging feeling of, you're not doing this right.
Right. Well, I don't know why I love that you are saying that phrase or bringing that up, feeling like I'm doing grief wrong, because I feel like there's so many people out there who can relate to that. And like Kamisha just said, you can't do grief wrong, right? Because it is so complex and it looks different on everybody. And it's so difficult too, because something like I keep saying is people have an expectation on how you should grieve. And we put that on other people. We put that on ourselves. And you really don't know until it hits you. You really don't know how you are going to process these emotions, these deep feelings, until you're going through it. And so, like I battle that all the time. Like, am I doing it wrong? Am I being too happy? Am I being too sad? When I was pregnant with Amara after losing Romeo, I was for sure in my head doing grief wrong because I was excited about this beautiful baby that I was going to have, but at the same time felt so guilty for that excitement. And then when I was grieving the son that I lost, I felt guilty for grieving him because I should be excited and happy. And I finally just realized you can hold both at the same time. You can hold extreme hope and love and joy and excitement and beauty while grief, loss, despair, all of that. It's like two ends of the spectrum that you can hold inside at the same time. And I don't think a lot of people do realize that, but that's been a very new thing for me that I'm passionate about experiencing and processing.
Nice little balance.
Yes.
And I think if more people applied that in general to life, they would do life better.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Like whether it's a breakup that you're going through or whatever it is, like you can experience the grief of that loss while being excited at the same time for maybe a new love or for maybe like this new chapter. So both are truths.
Absolutely. I love it. Oh, what's the face for?
You guys are just, I think you guys are awesome. I just love the back and forth convo.
Oh, this is great. I'm really excited. I'm glad that you have me back and being able to meet Kamisha. This is awesome.
Yeah, Kamisha is like, how do you even explain it? Like she is like a preacher. Like she's just preaching these words of wisdom all the time.
I have a question for you, if that's okay, Kamisha.
Absolutely.
Because you're very faith-based, how has your relationship with God changed since losing your son? Have you experienced anger maybe towards God? Has it gone there? If you don't mind going into that.
In the beginning, I was confused. Angry, yes, but more confused, lost, because I felt like I'm a great servant. I'm in the church, I'm volunteering, I do this, I do that.
Like, why would that happen to me?
Yep, and I do, and why me,
Yeah.
And then not only that, we just lost my niece 2 years prior to that, so why so much? So I was stuck in the why zone with God, and I found it difficult to still do a lot of the things that I did prior to my son passing away, like praise and worship. You're in the church, you're praising, you lifting your hands. My hands wouldn't lift. I remember telling my pastor, I was just crying at church one day, and I said, I want to praise him, but my hands feel like they have tons on them. Like, the 10 tons.
Yes.
And I just literally could not lift
You're like
my
being
hands.
weighted down.
And I was like, is it me? Or like, what is this? And I didn't know what the struggle was. I'm like, why can't I do it? And I think that is a great question that you're asking me, because I think maybe that was the anger, the frustration with God. Like, maybe I didn't want to praise him. So
Oh, wow.
I don't know, but because why were my hands so heavy? Why could I not lift my hands to give him praise in that moment? But I would say, let's move forward to today. My faith is so much deeper. He showed me so much when I started the foundation. I actually had a dream about it, and I was like, no, you can't be meaning me. I'm not doing grief right. I'm not getting this right. I'm in a very dark place.
You had a dream about your foundation that you started? Oh,
yes.
wow.
He showed me a spider web, and in this spider web, it lit up and it had all these different people. And he said, you're connected to these people for a reason, and the foundation is going to help it. I didn't get into this earlier, but a lot of my friends, after I lost my son, lost their kids.
What?
And the foundation was already in place. And so it just ushered them in to that dark, it didn't usher them into the dark place, but it gave them that little light at the end, in that little dark tunnel at that time when they lost their children. But get back to your question about God, so when I allowed him to start showing me things and accepting things, my relationship with him actually got a little deeper and a whole lot closer. Just like with didn't tell you this, but how he said I was on Family Feud. I actually knew we were going to win the money because he had actually told me that's the money that I was going to be able to use to start the foundation.
Wait, so I didn't know you won the money in Family Feud.
Oh, yes, we did.
Wow.
Not only did we win, but we were rocking my baby's colors that we wore to his service.
What?
So, yeah.
Wow.
And this part, caveat. It was on my birthday weekend. So it was for me. It was
Happy
absolutely
birthday.
for me.
Your son's like, happy birthday, Mom.
Period. So, yes, as my daughter would say.
Yeah, if that was my story, I'd believe in God too. That's awesome.
No, seriously. And he really did. And so that's why I say I'm much, much more closer now than I was then. And in the beginning, it was very hard. It was very difficult. And I did question. I did say why. I was very upset because I was a faithful servant. And here I am losing the one thing that sort of helped me change into this better person. And now I lost him and he's no longer with me.
Right.
But he's with me.
And I think that's a question a lot of people have, is how come bad things happen to good people? I think bad things happen to good people and bad people, but like, why do really bad things happen often to really good people?
Yeah. I would just say it's life. Here we are in this world, and life is going to happen. And that's why we're here on this podcast. It's 90% of how we respond to it.
Right.
I like to think that I'm part of your web now. Right?
You are.
Of her spider web.
Twice, like I'm part of the web.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm listening to her and my wheels are turning. I'm all like, wow, and she's here. Are we starting a chapter here in Utah of the HP Foundation?
Hey.
Yes, no.
Brie, do you want to weigh in on your thoughts with God at all?
Yeah. So I grew up religious. I was in the LDS religion. And I left when I was 16. And after leaving the LDS religion, I didn't really care much for spirituality or for God or for whatever. I kind of just figured like whatever happens, happens. I figured there was something. My spiritual journey didn't really open until having Romeo. And I had never really had a connection with God, even through my religious background, until I had Romeo. And I was like, being a mother and giving birth to this beautiful person is just this, it's one of the most spiritual things you can do. And it was like this connection of, where did you come from? Like, you must have come from somewhere, right? And it was also this realization of like, I know you. And so that just opened this whole door for me. And so since having Romeo and then since losing Romeo, my spiritual journey has been very, very, very intense. My relationship with God is very, I think very deep as well, like what you were saying. Like, it has a depth to it. And I do go through moments where even today, very much today, I am pissed. I'm pissed it happened. I am so sensitive to other people losing their kids. I cannot even watch the news. I'm so sensitive to children. And every time I'm just like pissed, like, why would you let these beautiful children get hurt like that? But I have to just keep coming to, I don't understand everything. And I don't understand God's plan entirely, but I have been given enough evidence to know that he exists. There's more going on. And my son still lives today. Maybe it's not physically anymore like he was, but he is still very much alive in his own sense. And that's been proven to me over and over and over. And that's what I go off of. And that's how I am able to get out of bed in the morning.
Yes. Well, they said this one man died once and rose. And
Yep, I know. I've heard that
he's
story.
sitting on the right hand. So he's still alive. So guess what? Our babies are too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kamisha, you, I feel like you kind of referenced the HP Foundation as kind of like a turning point maybe for you in your grief journey. Like, just hearing you talk, like you reference things like before the foundation and after the foundation in terms of your grief. Do you think I'm right, or do you think there's something there, a story, or what do you think that foundation has done for your grief?
They're definitely, you're right. It helped me. When I help others, it's helping me heal too. Just to be able to be a light for someone else actually does something on the inside of me, and it's in memory of my son. So it's not like he's forgotten, it's his legacy. So I feel like I'm honoring him in a way that he would be very much, he would be excited. He would be happy that I'm doing it. And I know that he is excited for me doing this as well. But yes, it does. It helps me as I help someone else heal. It helps me get a little better with my grief.
What the word acceptance, I struggle with that. Like I today, I still don't know if I fully accept it. I don't even know what that means, but do you think the foundation has kind of helped you accept this, or maybe shift you from, instead of feeling sorry for myself, I'm going to like make something good happen from this type of thing?
I think that's exactly why I started it, to make something good happen from the tragedy. I look at it in the perspective of, if I can help one person, if just one person, and I know I've helped more than one person, but if I could help one person, then it sort of kind of it allows me to feel like it makes sense of, makes sense of me losing my son. It gave it, I don't want to say a reason.
It gives it purpose.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to, like, gosh, he lived this beautiful life. He was athletic, and, he was popular at school. He was smart. He was intelligent. He was all these things. And I didn't want it to end there. So I wanted it to carry on. And that's why I started. And it helps me.
So what does your brain and your heart do when you run into the situation of, I helped this person because of my foundation and maybe save their life, change their life. And that's great. But that only happened because your son died. Juwan died. Am I alone in my thoughts here? But like when I experience something like that, there's just this element of confusing anger of I hate that I'm happy right now helping this person because I wish I wasn't, and because I wish they were alive. But then like the feeling of helping someone because they died goes hand in hand with this feeling we have of it was supposed to happen. Like because it happened, I'm able to help. So it's just like this total teeter-totter of...
I think that goes back to the duality thing I was talking about,
I was
right?
thinking that.
It's like this weird paradox in my mind. Like
Paradox, absolutely.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. I feel like exactly with what you're saying, the paradox of the worst thing ever happening to you. And then all of a sudden you are finding purpose in your life. And then it's like, how come I only found purpose in not only, but how come I found my purpose out of the worst thing that's actually happened to me? And it's almost this feeling of feeling grateful that you are helping people. I mean, you're helping so many people with what you're doing, speaking, your podcast, everything. You're a force. I love it. Talking to Mason. I'm like, forget. And then with your foundation, and I personally feel like I've been able to connect with so many people as well. And so it is like this total paradox of finding your purpose and finding passion and finding that you are making a difference in this world. And that's what everybody here wants to do, right? But it's come out of the worst thing ever in the whole planet.
Yes.
That's happened to you. And so it's this weird feeling of gratefulness and also no. So I totally feel that.
Yeah, I just get caught in like these weird, like, is it okay to feel good about this? Because like I totally want them to be alive, but like I am glad that I helped. So I just like, yeah, I just can't let myself enjoy the silver lining even. Like I just want, part of me just wants to hate it all. Like that just feels like the appropriate. Like Kamisha, when you told that story of your, I think it was your sister's friend maybe who just sat at the cemetery all day, like part of me just thinks that's the way to go. Like that's the more honorable thing to do than starting a podcast even. Like who has the energy and the love to just do that all? Like that's like who's to say that's not correct? And like obviously it's not healthy and we can talk about that, but like do you see what I'm saying? Like why is some poetry like poetic and love if like someone's just suffering, like this is how much I love you, but then when it's in terms of grief, it's unhealthy? Like if this person was alive, this would be a love story, it'd be a movie, but like because they're dead, it's weird and awkward and it's not healthy. And it's like I struggle with that too. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I have my own paradox within even just my relationship with Romeo. Because obviously I still wish he was here. Like if I got to choose, he would be physically here, point blank. But my relationship I have with him today is my most special relationship I have with anyone. And it also is kind of like this doorway to my connection with God and with the universe. And it's something that I'm very like thankful for. And it's funny and interesting for me to be so thankful for this relationship while at the same time missing how it was and wishing it was how it was, but then loving how it is too. And I do love my relationship with him. And something I feel he wants me to continue working on is loving who he is today. I loved him before. I love him today exactly how he is. And I love him forever.
That. I have a question for your statement.
Okay.
Now, how would your family want you to feel? Remember, I asked that question earlier. I always look at it from that perspective. How would my son want me to be in this moment right now? Would he want me to be sad? Or would he want me to be depressed and suicidal? Would he want me on edge and every single day? I think not. So I would say my son would want to see me smile, thrive, grow, and love still. So,
Damn it, I can't get anything past you. God, that was a beautiful answer.
I
Thank
think
you.
it was, and she had a very poetic answer. You're so poetic the way you speak. I love it. Anyways.
No, it's so good. Yeah, I think. Yeah, obviously the answer is your dead loved ones want you to be happy, and I do think they want you to be a little like if they all died and I just met Sammy and I never cried, they'd probably be like, "What the hell?" So like I think it'd be a little sad, but no, yeah, I think. Yeah, I need to keep that in mind more often.
And then your light that you allow to shine, that's helping people. How do you think I found you? And remember, I don't tell my story much. I help other people, but I never really get on platforms and tell my story. I been on the news and that's it. And I think maybe someone did an interview, asked me a few questions and wrote a news story about me, but me actually physically showing up in the moment, telling my story. But I feel because we have to make grieving normal, that we have to do more of this because this is what's going to help someone else. It helps the people that I help. It's helping the people that you help. You're having your connections and that spiritual side of it. I'm telling you, that's amazing. Tell your story everywhere you go so everyone can know.
I do.
That's right, because people have to know that there's two sides to this. There's
Yes.
that spiritual realm and there's this reality realm. And right now we're you and I who tap into that because we see
It's a very
the
real
signs.
thing. It
Absolutely.
is very much a real thing.
And the more we tell our stories, the more people will start seeing it. What did we speak about earlier? That when you buy a blue car, now you see blue cars. So the more we speak of it and we make it normal, the more people will be able to see, oh, wait, this is a sign. I do see
Yes.
that they are actually
Yes.
tapping in every single day and we're just not paying attention to it.
1,000%.
Yep.
And I think too with signs is when your loved ones are trying to send you signs and you're constantly ignoring them, or a really easy thing to do is to think it away or think it was just some like, what's the word? Thank you. Coincidence. It's really easy for your brain to just ignore it. And so imagine your loved ones who are genuinely trying to reach out, genuinely wanting this relationship with you. And you're like, oh, that was a coincidence or whatever. They're not going to try as hard. Like they will eventually stop trying if you keep ignoring them. And so it is it is still a relationship that you keep the door open.
I love that.
Anything else you guys want to?
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
How often do you think about it?
Think about them dying, or like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like how often do you think about them? Like how often are they on your mind?
That's got to be close to 24/7 for
Yeah.
me. Like, I just don't really know. Yeah, it's just all the time.
And I would say for me the same. I think that's why one of the other reasons I actually was okay with starting the HP Foundation is because it allows me to carry him with me every single day. So if I'm doing the work of the HP Foundation, I'm actually in his presence. That's in my mind, though. But I keep pictures of my son around every day, so I think of him every day. Like,
Yeah.
there's literally a picture of him next to my TV. So if it's on, he's right there. He's watching TV with
For
me. So
sure.
I said earlier, like, my house is it was so funny how you said it, because you mentioned your sister. She has like a little picture, and you're like, my house is.
Oh, I can't remember.
That is so.
I'm so random, but yeah, I have like pictures, like big pictures, 11 by 17s.
Oh, I
where's
love
that 11,
that.
17 again. But
Yeah.
yes, I do. I just want to stay in the moment. I don't want to forget, and I don't think I'm ever going to forget. But I don't know if I had this moment where I thought maybe if his picture wasn't there, or if I didn't do this, I would forget.
Oh,
Does that, you guys are pretty, you're 4 years in, I think you said.
Yes.
And you-
5.
5. But do you ever feel like that? Like you're going to forget them?
I love that you're bringing this up. Can you go first?
Yeah, that was actually a fear of mine at the beginning, because I just wouldn't look at pictures of them. I wouldn't talk about them. Wow. And then like I couldn't remember like our house and all the memories we had until I finally started crying and feeling it and talking about them,
Yeah.
looking at pictures again. And I think finding that gratitude came from feeling the pain of it. But I was eventually able to get to the gratitude part. I kind of forgot the question, but yeah, what was I answering again?
if you're ever afraid that you're going to forget them.
Yeah, and so that was a fear of mine. And then, I just think especially, it just makes sense, right? Like, if I live to be 80, that's 50 years. Like, if I don't talk about him and look at I am going to forget him, won't I? Like, I think I would. I don't know. So
You don't keep them in your life.
Yeah, I just try to keep pictures up
Keep
and
them in
talk
your
about
life.
him. And me and Blue talk about him a lot. Like when we're at the skate park, dragonfly and butterfly is a big one for his
I remember
mom.
you saying dragonflies.
And we were skating, and a dragonfly just flies by. I'm like, oh, look, Blue, it's your mom. And he didn't say anything. And then, like, a couple days later, me, Sammy, and Blue are together. And he says, Dad, remember when we saw Mom at the skate park?
That is so cute.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, the dragon.
Oh,
like,
my
so he
gosh.
Did hear me. And so,
He did recognize it.
All the signs like that. Or feathers is another big one for Blue. If he finds a feather, depending on the size, it's, if it's for his mom or sister or whoever. But yeah, I don't have that fear anymore because I talk about him and think about him all the time. But I did have it.
Yeah. I think that's a normal thing in grief that people are afraid to acknowledge or talk about is the fear of forgetting. And I definitely had that and sometimes still do have that. And it's wild because when Romeo was physically here, I remember not even remembering what life was like without him. And now it's been 4 years since I lost him, and I'm doing everything I can to go through all of my memories with him. Actually at the hospital. So when Romeo passed, in the drowning accident, he was life flighted to a hospital, and he was in the hospital for 3 days before we let go of the machines that were keeping his body alive. And one of the nurses, she told me, and she was like, get a journal, write down as many things you can remember about him right now. Because apparently it's a thing in your grief and your body that you forget. Like your brain will actually forget things. And I think it is a part of your body trying to protect you from the amount of pain you are going through. And so I did exactly that. I got a journal. I wrote down just the most random things. I wrote down our schedule we had every day, the things he liked, his favorite foods, little sayings he would do, little memories we had. And I go through that journal all of the time and all the time rack my brain if I can remember any more than I do now. So I think that is a normal fear that people have. And it's a normal thing to have.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? Comments? Quotes we like?
Quotes is a good one.
Stories shared? Anything else? We're going back to Arizona. I don't want you to be flying to Arizona. Be like, I should have said that story about Juwan. We feeling good about everything?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know how I don't know what we're going to do because we just had your top 3 favorite movies.
Yeah, I was like, don't you do
movies?
Should we
do like books or TV shows, or how do you guys want to end this? Any ideas off the top of our head?
Movie stars?
Ooh.
There you go.
We do bands like a musician.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll go first.
Yeah, you're like the band guy.
Well, give me Metallica.
Yeah. That was an easy guess.
I'm in trouble now after that. I'll take Metallica. Give me. This is hard. Movies is way easier.
I know this is hard.
Racking my brain.
I don't know if I'm going to do bands
or a musician, so it's going to be like.
I'm probably going to do celebrities.
Are you ready? Do you have your celebrity list? Because I'm struggling with the bands.
Okay, I'm going to go first of all with, oh my gosh.
Not so easy, is it?
No, it's really hard. I'm going to go with Miley Cyrus. She's going top of my head. I saw a video of her today.
Miley Cyrus?
Why I like Miley Cyrus is she is goofy. She's funny. She's weird. She just like does her thing and she does not give a fuck of what people think about it. And I like that. And I feel like I could use a little bit more of that. So I like that a lot about Miley Cyrus. Somebody else I really like, and this is a musician, Noah Kahan. You know him? Oh, Noah Kahan is awesome.
Ryan claims he knows Noah Kahan. I don't. Do you know Noah Khan?
The
No,
musician.
I'm sitting here. I'm really trying to. I'm even thinking of these things.
I thought you said season 6.
I think
Season 6. He's awesome. And then a third person, I would have to say, you.
Oh no, not that.
Oh no!
You're sitting right in front of me, and I can't think of anyone. So
All right, we'll
I'm gonna go
take
with
it.
you.
Okay, back to bands. Unless Kamisha, are you ready with anything?
I'm so far gone.
Give me Metallica. Dropkick Murphys.
Can you sing a Metallica song for us, really quick? Could you
Sing a song?
Yeah, like
You labeled me, I'll label you,
There we go.
and I dub
There we
the unforgiven.
He said good enough. He said it's enough.
You should rethink your career. You should go into singing.
I'm awful. I wish. And then give me like stick figure, I guess. I don't like that pick. Kamisha, you got anything with us? For us? Top 3 anything?
Top 3 anything.
Top 2.
Hey, also, I wanted to ask your necklace. Who's on your necklace?
That's my baby.
Yeah, I figured so.
This was actually the day he went to the river.
Oh.
He recorded a video. He's my number 1, by the way, guys. He's my celebrity. Okay. But he is though. But this was the day he went to the river, and then on the other side is my niece and him when we were at, I don't know, trying to think where we were at. We were on vacation in California. I think we're at Hermosa Beach, maybe. Manhattan Beach or something.
Cute.
Like that.
Well, there you go.
Yep, and I wear these, and I wore them today because I was going to be on the show.
Cute. I love connection-based jewelry.
Someone gave it to me as a gift. So
You make jewelry, don't you?
Yes, I do connection-based jewelry. So my first piece ever was this butterfly necklace that I'm wearing. And why I started it was because I wanted something that I could wear that helped me feel connected to Romeo. And then I wanted to do that for other people too. So all of my stuff is waterproof, tarnish-free, high quality, something that you can wear every single day that reminds you of your story, reminds you of your person, or reminds you even of the support that you have with other people. Let's say you're going through something like a divorce and somebody wants to gift you a butterfly necklace or whatever it is. So I love connection-based jewelry.
I love it.
Osha chains, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brie Osha, after the ocean. And so this is Osha chains.
There you go.
Off of my own name. Remembrance, connection-based jewelry.
There you go.
And are you on social media?
I am, yes.
I'm going to go follow you.
You're on social media too, right, Kamisha?
Yes, I am.
So go give we'll put them in the Instagram thing that we do.
Cute.
I love it.
Okay, thanks again. Life's 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it.